So hi all. I hope everyone is staying safe at home during this pandemic. And it has been a long time since I posted a video on YouTube or on social media. So actually there is some reason why I am here again. There is some driving force which instigated me to come in front of you. So even in these tough times, I'm making a video because of uh, something I found interesting. I should share with you. That's why I decided to make a video on some particular problem. So actually this problem, when you go along, it simply decides how you can interpret an engineering problem given to you, right? From the basic 12th standard maths, how you can interpret the the beautiful engineering behind it, and how you can actually derive. Like, it's not just remembering the formula or doing that one, but how you can derive at a conclusion from the basic principles what you observe in nature. So based on that one, how you arrive at a conclusion, how you arrive at a relation that are used in the real world problems. So actually this kind of thought process I could get while I was going through some of the engineering material in some of the websites and some of the books. So it's really interesting. It seems a theoretical work or a mathematical equation, but lot of engineering application, and lot of deriving it from the basic principles as you go on, that you can observe while we go through this problem. So basically it is from a thermal point of view. It involves thermal basics. Okay, so thermal basics means you need not think of high system, but it's very what you call very daily observations, you can say, like, right? Or you can how humans interpret the world. So based on that one, you check out the problem and arrive at a conclusion. So that is the main point in the video. So as I said, it is thermal problem. So let me explain that one. Okay, so if you go to this one, he says, as I said, a thermal problem, some thermal terms will be there, you might have heard, but we will discuss in detail one of all the things. So one thing is coefficient of compressibility. Okay, coefficient of compressibility for a fluid. So fluids are incompressible, right? Fluids are nothing but liquids and gases. So when you talk of compressibility, you mainly talk about gases, because liquids are not compressible. Liquids are almost incompressible. Okay, so only gases in terms of fluids. Maybe like some liquids tend to compress at certain temperatures, right? That is purely for a few intervals of temperature. But as far as the gases are concerned, they are compressible at all temperatures, right? They can be compressed at all temperatures. They can be expanded at all temperatures. Liquids can expand, but compressibility effects are not felt at all temperatures. So that is the point here. Coefficient of compressibility for a fluid, right? It is generally K. Okay, so first we will see this one. First I will tell the basics in the equation we want to develop. So if we go to the basics, then as I said, you can easily derive the result. You need not remember or mug up the things. But if you go with the basics, right, then you can start deriving. You can easily interpret in terms of maths what the equation wants to say. what the real problem wants to say, you can put it in the language of engineers, that is mathematics. And from the mathematics you can do some rules, right, differentiation or integration, and then you can finally arrive at the conclusion. So that is the main point in this video, right? How you derive, how you go from initial, like raw, like from the raw material to the finished equation, how you go through, how the process is going through. That is the main point in this lecture or in this video. Okay, so this actually made me has driven me, like during these tough times, like where everyone is feeling sort of this thing, but these things are actually drive me as an engineer to share with you this sort of problems, or these sort of ideas, mostly not problems, but these sort of ideas, like I was tempted to share with you in these times also. So as I said, coefficient of compressibility for a fluid, right? So coefficient of compressibility for a fluid, K. Okay, so this one is K, right? As I said, liquids are incompressible and then gases are compressible at all the temperatures. Okay, so what is it? Coefficient of compressibility, right? So what I want to say is, so coefficient of compressibility of a fluid, so compressibility means how pressure will be there and volume will be there. Okay, so how a substance acts in terms of pressure, in application of pressure, how does a system perform, whether it is compact, whether it's compressed, or whether it is expanded. So how you define expansion or compression? That is in terms of volume. So you have pressure and volume. Okay, so what is the other variable for the gas? That is temperature. So these three things, so pressure, volume and temperature, these are required for a gas, right? So in terms of compressibility, you require mainly pressure and volume. Okay, so you require pressure and volume in terms of for a what do you call, for a this one, for a fluid. Okay, for a fluid, so temperature is not into the mathematical relation, but it is so we will see how the temperature is taken into consideration for a gas, but most important thing is how the volume is changing with the pressure. So that is the main important one. So in this case, as I said, like pressure and volume I said, so by the application of pressure, how is the volume changing? So this is similar to stress and strain, right? By the application of strain, or in the reverse way, by the strain caused, what is the stress induced, right? So for the, but in the here in the reverse way, when by the application of what do you call, by the application of pressure, how much volume is changed. Okay, so for like pressure, so for what do you call, in tension or in compression, delta L by L is the strain and stress is sigma. Okay, so this one stress by strain, stress by this one sig by is equal to Young's modulus, right? So this we have seen in this relation, what is there, sigma by delta L by L is equal to Y. This we have seen already, right? In terms of stress by strain is equal to Young's modulus. So in the same way, when we have a relation between volume and pressure, we come across coefficient of thermal expansion. Okay, so similar to this one, now I'll write this one, delta V by V divided by P is equal to beta. Now this beta is called dV, dou V by V. Dou V is the change in volume. As I said, change in volume with relative volume is the total relative expansion, right? Original by change by changing this one by original. That is called the relative expansion with the help of pressure. So dou V by V with the help of pressure is a term called beta. Okay, this is not the coefficient of thermal expansion. We will see what is thermal expansion, but this is also defined term. Beta is equal to dou V by V by P. This is taken, right? But here what is happening is, when by the application of pressure, always there should be a negative sign, because dou V is always negative. So for this term, dou V is always negative because compressed volume is less than the original volume. So dou V will be negative. Dou V will be negative. So to make the term positive, like in heat transfer, minus Ka dt by dx, right? In the terms of minus heat transfer, Q is equal to minus Ka dt by dx. Why minus sign is written? Because temperature is negative along the gradient, negative along the x direction. So gradient is negative. So to make it positive, heat flow cannot be negative. So to make it positive, again minus sign is there. Q is equal to minus Ka dt by dx. So likewise, beta is equal to minus dou V by V. Minus sign is there with the help of pressure. Minus dou V by V is the relative change in volume by P. So this is the relative change of volume with respect to pressure. Okay, this is some beta. What we want is coefficient of thermal expansion. So like I said, in heat transfer, Q is equal to minus Ka. So this is there. Again dou T, if it is negative in the positive x direction, dou T by dou x is negative. To make Q positive, minus Ka dou T by dou x. So minus sign is there to make the whole term positive. Okay, Q is equal to minus Ka dt by dx. Right? So likewise, this one is written. This minus sign, I hope you understand why the minus sign has come. Right, minus sign has come this way. Now what I will do is, one by beta is equal to okay. So what is of our interest is this one, 1 by beta. So this is dou P actually, not P, because there is change in pressure also. So 1 by beta I will take, and then this one 1 by dou V by V by dou P. So this is simply beta is equal to V into minus of V into dou P by dou V. Just taking the reciprocal of this one. Okay, so this is the coefficient of thermal thermal expansion. This is called K. So what we require is coefficient of thermal expansion K. Okay, isothermal expansion, right? So dou P by dou V into V. Okay, so this is the coefficient of thermal expansion. Because it is at constant temperature, this is written constant T. This derivative is written constant T. Dou P by dou V, the change in pressure with respect to volume at constant temperature into specific volume. This is the definition of thermal coefficient of thermal expansion. Right? As I said, you did not remember all the things, but this is the change in relative volume, this is the change in pressure, right? So the ratio we have taken, and then the reciprocal we have taken to arrive at this dou P by dou V into V minus. So that one you can just remember that logic. Okay, so there is nothing hard and fast rule, but you are just taking the reciprocal, starting from the scratch. You have developed this equation, okay, and then taking the reciprocal. You doing the 1 by beta, because 1 by beta is commonly termed coefficient of thermal expansion. Okay, and so we have completed one term. So this is called, what we call is isothermal compressibility. Okay, isothermal compressibility is called this one. And likewise, so we are playing with only three variables: volume, temperature and pressure. Okay, so coefficient of thermal expansion, right? There is another expansion. This is compressibility, and then there is isothermal compressibility factor, and then one is thermal expansion, right? Thermal expansion. As I said, liquids react with pressure, fluids react with pressure, fluids react with temperature. So thermal expansion is also a relevant term in this discussion. Okay, compressibility factor is with respect to pressure, thermal expansion is with respect to temperature, right? So it is thermal expansion is alpha, right? For mercury you have some alpha, in thermometer you have some alpha. Based on that one, you choose how, like mercury is chosen because it has higher alpha, it detects the temperature. Why water is not chosen in the temperature? So these all come under discussion of coefficient of thermal expansion, how the coefficient of thermal expansion is taken into consideration. So these are taken into consideration based on rules. Like example is most wonderful example is temperature. The coefficient of thermal expansion for mercury is high, that's why it expands on application of, it expands much on the application of less heat. Okay, so that is taken into consideration. The coefficient of thermal expansion holds good with respect to temperature. Again, volume is involved here, volume of the fluid is involved. Compressibility factor, volume of the fluid involved with the application of pressure. That is, the application of pressure is in, you might have seen Mach number, that is in the case of aeroplanes. The thermal expansion is one example. A practical engineering example is, as I said, thermometer, right? Mercury thermometer, mercury has the higher thermal expansion. So thermal expansion is also relevant in this discussion. Coefficient of thermal expansion, we are talking about coefficients, right? Coefficient of thermal expansion, coefficient of isothermal compressibility. So coefficient of thermal expansion on the other hand is alpha is equal to 1 by V dou V by dou T at constant pressure. Okay, so this is the relation dou V by dou T at P. Again I am taking P, V, T are the variables here, not more than that one. Okay, so dou V by dou T, again volume is involved and then temperature is involved with respect to the differential, because volume is changing with respect to temperature, temperature is changing dou T, volume is changing dou V, and 1 by V because relative volume. Again, when we have coefficient of thermal expansion of coefficient of this one volume expansion, we have 1 by V and dou V by dou T as P. Okay, alpha. So alpha is equal to 1 by V. This is relative volume, this is temperature, change in temperature at constant pressure. Okay, so this is taken at constant pressure because we want to restrict our discussion to two variables. Okay, so this is called the coefficient of thermal expansion. This relation you might have seen, right? So change in volume with respect to original volume with respect to a degree centigrade. So meter cube, this one per degree centigrade, 1 into 10 power of minus 8 per degree centigrade, like 100, like 200 into 10 power minus 4 per degree centigrade. So these are all under comes under coefficient of thermal expansion which you come across, right? So now we have seen two terms, thermal expansion alpha and K. K is equal to 1 by beta is equal to minus V dou P by dou V at constant temperature. You can really see observe the equations, how much similar they are. There is no need to panic. Dou P by dou V. This is just a reverse of this one. All the variables are same, V, P, T. Okay, only this relative term is same, dou V by V and P. All these things are same. This is a constant pressure, this is a constant temperature. Okay, so there is no need to panic, but you should just observe what is going on, how we developed these things. Okay, so the change in volume with respect to volume, this is the relative volume change with respect to the variable we are considering, the temperature or pressure, right? So now the point is, there is specific volume, you might have heard, and there is density. Okay, so density is equal to mass by volume. Now I am going further discussion. There is specific volume, there is density. Okay, so rho is equal to mass by volume, right? But what is happening is, specific volume is equal to total volume by mass. Specific volume is equal to total volume of the gas by total volume of the gas by mass of the gas. Rho is equal to mass by volume, total volume. Specific volume is equal to V total. Mass by volume total by V total by mass, right? So from what these two observations give us, specific volume is equal to 1 by rho. Okay, specific volume is 1 by rho. This you remember first. Okay, this remember, you just understand, not remember till you are automatically understood, because mass by volume is rho. This one everyone knows. So specific volume you might have known or no, you might be knowing or not knowing, but specific volume is total volume by mass. Okay, when you split the volume by mass, that is called specific volume, right? When you split the mass by volume, that is called density. So specific volume is equal to 1 by rho. 1 by the reciprocal of density is specific volume. Okay, so generally it is written small v, right? Specific volume is written small v. Now what I want to show is, now specific volume is function of pressure and temperature. Again I am sticking to the basic rules. Specific volume or volume, pressure, PVT, these are the basic things. The PVT when we come across, so specific volume is again function of pressure and temperature. Okay, so what he wants to prove us is, when there is combined effects of pressure and temperature both are acting, right? Now he wants to prove the density change of a fluid or density change of a fluid. So this is of wonderful importance, right? How the density changes. This is applicable in all the engineering practice. Okay, so when U is function of pressure and temperature, P is varying and T is also varying. Now instead of asking how specific volume changes with respect to pressure and temperature, he is asking to prove us delta rho is equal to alpha rho delta P minus beta rho delta T. Okay. So this is the relation we want to prove. Alpha rho delta t, delta rho is equal to alpha rho delta p minus rho delta t. So how to arrive at this solution is, now delta p, delta rho is equal to alpha rho delta p minus beta rho delta t, right? So given is alpha 1 by alpha is equal to minus v dou p by dou v by beta a. Okay, I will define this way, but there's some, actually I am going for the standard convention, but I will show this convention. Okay, so k is equal to 1 by alpha is equal to minus v dou p by dou v at constant temperature. Beta is equal to 1 by v dou v by dou t at constant pressure. Okay, so these are the relations, right? You just check the variables, right? Alpha I have taken for this one, but the convention you can take this one also. 1 by alpha you can establish the bookish convention also. 1 by alpha, but alpha is taken generally for this one, but here that's why I have taken previously this alpha. But the same thing, 1 by alpha is equal to k, instead of alpha beta, instead of beta alpha, the same relation, same stands, dou v by v into dou t into p at p, and 1 by alpha is equal to minus v dou p by dou v into at constant temperature. So these all, the relation is same. There is no confusion about variables, but alpha and beta you take interchangeably instead of 1 and 2. Okay, that you please keep in mind. Sorry for the inconvenience, but you mind the previous equations. 1 by alpha, instead of 1 by beta I am taking 1 by alpha, and instead of alpha is equal to this one, this is beta, right? Per degree centigrade you take it as beta. Okay, now because I followed the convention here like that, but I want to change it because initially I wanted to take alpha for thermal expansion. Actually that is the standard convention used, but in the book I followed again there is different confusion, different this one, so there is some mismatch. That's why I have to arrange the variables, right? So, but sorry for that one, please bear in mind I am changing only beta and alpha. The equations are the same, right? The first one is isothermal compressibility itself, the second one is coefficient of isothermal expansion itself. Okay, so this is isothermal compressibility, the same thing, compressibility, and this is coefficient of thermal expansion. Okay, now the main point here is, you might have understood all these things, like you might have understood how, you might have get an idea how to develop from scratch the equations, mathematical equations which are useful to derive the result. Now as I said, delta rho is equal to alpha rho delta p minus beta rho delta t. So this one I want to prove the change in density, right? Given that what we have is, we should bear in mind V is equal to function of pressure and temperature. Sorry, V is equal to function of pressure and temperature. So why I am considering V? Because volume, specific volume and density are connected, always connected. So this relation I want to use, and then I want to arrive at this result using the coefficients described earlier, just now, right? Earlier means the previous this one, what do you call, previous slide, what we described, that I want to describe in terms of this one, right? So now, so V is function of p comma t, right? So delta V by V, I can write it as delta V is equal to dou V by dou P at constant temperature into delta P plus dou V by dou T at constant pressure into delta T. This is the simple math. I have not even referred to earlier equations also. Delta V is equal to dou V by dou P, because V is function of pressure and temperature. So dou V by dou P, I am taking free as variable at constant temperature, into delta P, plus dou V by dou T into P, dou V by dou T at constant pressure into delta T. So I am taking two variables at a time, because this is I want to make it simple differential equation, right? Change in volume by change in pressure into change in pressure gives me change in volume at constant temperature, plus change in volume by change in temperature into change in temperature at constant pressure gives me change in volume at constant pressure. So total volume change is equal to change in volume at constant temperature plus change in volume at constant pressure. That's all. This is nothing more than that. Okay. So now what is happening is, I will divide all this by V. Delta V by V is equal to 1 by V dou V by dou P at constant temperature into delta P, plus dou V by dou T at constant pressure to delta T 1 by V. Now inside V is missing, right? From we want to use the relations earlier. So 1 by V I want, because V is missing. So delta V by V is equal to 1 by V into T into this one. Okay. Now so we have arrived at this state point. Delta V by V is equal to 1 by V dou V by dou P at constant temperature into delta P, plus 1 by V dou V by dou T at constant pressure into delta T. Okay. So here again V is equal to 1 by rho. Again I am taking into, because density is required, I am taking into consideration V is equal to 1 by rho. Okay. So if we write again, I am writing these relations. 1 by alpha is equal to minus V dou P by dou V at constant temperature, and beta is equal to 1 by V dou V by dou T at constant pressure. So 1 by alpha is equal to minus V dou P by dou V at constant temperature, beta is equal to 1 by V dou V by dou T at constant pressure, and V is equal to 1 by rho. So these are the relations we have. Okay. So V is equal to specific volume is equal to 1 by rho, right? So I am using this one. V is equal to 1 by rho, dV is equal to d rho minus rho into d of 1 by rho square. So dV is equal to d rho by rho square d rho by rho is equal to rho dV. Okay, this relation again, this you remember all these things. These are we are going to use. So these are the relations again we want to go to use. Stress V is equal to 1 by rho, specific volume is equal to 1 by rho, delta V by V is equal to 1 by V, dou V by dou P at constant temperature plus 1 by delta P plus 1 by V into dou V. So this is the simple differential equation and this one. Right, so these equations I want to use, all these equations, and then I want to find the relation for changing density. So that is the main point. So that with that derivation I will just continue in the next video. Okay, please stay back.